Good morning and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is build date 8 in the progress of the home construction out at Villa FELIZ. And I'm actually headed out there right now, and I will tell you, it is a beautiful morning here in Batangas. We have some overcast, and the overcast is keeping the sun temperatures down, and it is really nice out here today. It was so wonderful waking up and having the cool air coming through the screens inside the house. So nothing like yesterday. It was pretty hot most of yesterday afternoon, and of course we didn't have electricity, so we didn't have the fans out there. So headed out to the job site this morning, and we'll see what today brings us. Hopefully my contractor's out there on the site today, and I can ask him a few questions. When I get out there, I'm going to answer a few of the questions, or a few of the comments that some of the folks put on the comment section yesterday. We had some really good comments. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Morning. I'm known as Joe around here. I got to get a picture of this. So this is what was it again? What do you call it? Pancit. Pancit. Oh, but it doesn't look like pancit, because pancit's normally the smaller noodles, right? This is the thicker. So anyway, they have this. I didn't realize this. I'm making breakfast over there, and I'm eating crap, and these guys got this great pancit over here, and they have it available every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you know where I'm going to be grabbing some breakfast here. Thank you. We'll see you later. Good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Hi.
Morning. Hey, this is your home. Is this your home? Ah, I like the color. It's a very bright, happy color. So anyway, I'm out here on the site, and I got my daily intel briefing from the security guards. And the scoop is this morning, no material delivery has been done, but we had the workers came on site, and it was before 6 o'clock these guys came on. So I think that's why when I get here in the morning time, why so much is done. I see all, and I'm like, I left yesterday about the time, you know, they didn't have very much more time yesterday, and that's all we say this, and then I come the next morning and it's like, oh wow, they got a lot of stuff done. It's because they come so early in the morning, and it's probably to beat some of the heat of the day. So I look forward to seeing what they have done out there right now. I just wanted to mention, if you look right here, I wondered for the longest time, I said, this is a really big, I thought this was like a really big house. I said, oh, must have a lot of family members here, but this actually isn't a house. I knew during the years that, and you can see back here, and I'll show you, on the back side, it actually extends, all these rooms extend to this other side back here. I'm sure they won't mind me doing a little bit of a video over here. But if you look, it goes all the way around, and if you can kind of see the center right there, that is actually the chapel, the church here, and this is actually a seminary. And you remember the other day when I was walking down here to the neighbor right here on the left, and I was speaking to one of the family members, and her family member was one of the students that are over here in the seminary. So anyway, I got out to the site this morning, coming out here, and this is Ludus and her husband.
Hi, Mom Nessie.
And actually, she was the very first person that was actually working with us, putting a bid in for the building of the construction. She's also a contractor as well, and they were out here today, and we ran into them, and they're here. And this is our barangay Capitan Nap. Of course, you remember him from the video. He gave me a ride into the site one day, and he looks out for me, and he actually helped me find the apartment. So, and I was also surprised by Alberto and Rani and everybody came, and everybody else here that ended up, and Ramil over here. Hello. Everybody was waiting at the site when I came in this morning. They wanted to get a look at the site and see what. So as you can see here, it is 11 o'clock, and just now the last of the visitors this morning just left the site. So today you see they've completed the corner holes and for the column support, and they're actually working on all the column support holes that are going to be running in the center of the house. So that's probably going to take them quite a while to get this done. So I expect probably for today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, so I think probably most of this week is going to be engaged in doing the all the column support holes. Also continuing is the rebar bending over here. And this is the larger rebar. Yesterday he was doing the 10 gauge. It looks like today he's doing the 16 gauge. I can't imagine what it's going to take to bend this 20 gauge over here. But they'll probably be doing that as well. I don't know. A gift from Lucas and her husband Angelo. Thank you guys. Well, it looks like everything is progressing well at the job site, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get that well-deserved haircut that I wasn't able to get yesterday when the electricity was out. So it's over to see George at George's Barber Shop. Uh-oh, this can't be good. Where's George? So, I don't know if you notice, but I'm walking in the wrong direction. I'm walking back away from George's place. So George wasn't there. Maybe George, you have to call him for an appointment or something. I don't know. George had some other things he had to do today. So maybe I wasn't meant to have a haircut. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some lunch, and then I'll head back out to the job site. It is lunchtime, and I was gonna get a burger from the burger place there, but they're out of burgers today. But he promised me tomorrow he will have burgers, and I will do a review tomorrow of the burger. Anyway, I stopped by Roy and Michelle's, and when I stopped by there, they said, "Oh, have you ever had tilapia?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, my wife always makes tilapia." So I'm like, they said, "Oh, well, we have this meal called empalaya." Empalaya, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Empalaya. And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll have that for lunch." And they're like, "Oh, lunch is done. We don't have it anymore." I'm like, "What?" So, but she did have a little bit left over, and I am going to have some empalaya for lunch today. Thank you, Michelle and Roy. So anyway, I tried out the empalaya that Michelle most graciously gave me so that I wouldn't starve for lunch today, and this sure beats peanut butter and jelly, and it's actually really good. And she was concerned that my palate wouldn't be adaptable to some bitter taste that was inside of it. So because the ingredients on empalaya, from what I looked up, are like garlic and onions and tomatoes, and something called a bitter melon. I don't know what the bitter melon is, and we were discussing it earlier, and she said something about she didn't even know what that translates to, a type of vegetable inside the U.S. So I'm going to have to look at that a little bit more. But you can taste a little bit of bitterness inside there, but the bitterness actually kind of enhances the flavor of all the other stuff inside there. And I think she said there's tilapia inside here, but I don't really taste tilapia. Or maybe she was talking about tilapia. She has tilapia as a main dish that goes along with the ampalaya. I don't know. But all I know is it's good, and I wish I would have been there earlier enough. I think she had tilapia earlier, but that's for another day. So thanks, Michelle, and thanks for taking care of me. So with lunch out of the way, I'm going to head back out to the job site. What you're looking at here is the first completed assembly for the base of the column structure that's going to be going in. This is actually the rebar that's going to sit at the bottom, and it will be encased in concrete. And there will also be rebar that goes straight up vertical, which will be encased by the concrete. This is number 16 rebar right here. So one of the comments somebody made, and they were stating the fact that not only can you have bahay kubos for entertainment and for relaxation in your backyard, but you can actually build a house traditional bahay kubo style for the Philippines. And that's true, and there are actually some good resources on YouTube, and you can actually go on the web and you can actually find information about that. But basically what I'm saying is there are kubos, bahay kubos, that are your entire house. Like I'm building a house out of concrete right here. You can make one out of bamboo and different building materials, and you can have bathrooms, and you can have electrical, and it's a complete house. So if you're more into the natural type of building, that might be something that interests you if you're actually planning on building over here. Also, there was a common recommendation about making sure that you coordinate with your architecture when it comes to the quality of building materials. And for me, I was lucky because my builder and my architect are one and the same. And we sat down and we discussed a lot of the building materials a long time ago. And I had the opportunity, like I said, I stayed with another builder here in the Philippines, and we scrubbed that list of everything that we had on there. And he's been building for quite a long time. He's actually built more houses than my builder actually has built. And he was a great resource for discussing the styles of material, the types of materials, the quality of materials. And when I went back and discussed it with my architect, he agreed, and we actually had to do modifications, and we actually have better quality materials. So yeah, definitely talk with your architect when it comes to that, because your architect, if it's separate from your builder, he wants the house built to the highest quality standards as possible. Occasionally what you might find is your contractor might build you a house, but he wants to do it, and the bottom line is money, so he might actually purchase some substandard, or even not substandard, maybe even medium quality building materials. So you might want to put him in check on that. Let's also talk about, there was a comment about designing houses, and particularly with glass. And I showed you yesterday and the day before Vince's house that has all the glass, lots of glass on that house. Now, a thing about glass, and the comment actually was, if you have a lot of glass, glass can actually bring in a lot of heat into the house, and it doesn't matter whether it's tinted glass or if it's regular glass. If you have glass that's actually facing the sun during most of the day, you're going to get a lot of heat inside your house, and then you're going to have some kind of aircon inside to compensate. And aircon here, the electricity for aircon or air conditioning over here, is extremely expensive. So what you want to do when you're actually in the design phase and when you actually are purchasing property, you want to take a lot of things into consideration. And we did when we purchased this property. As a matter of fact, one of the criteria that we had for this property was that the property has to be facing in a certain direction, and of course with elevation and drainage had a lot to play with it. But for us, we wanted to make sure, because we had already picked out a home design, and that home design had to fit where the sun would actually run across the front of the house, because our bedroom is in the back. It's actually in the northeast section, which gets the least amount of sun, which means when the sun sets in the evening time, we're not worried about all that passive radiation emanating from the concrete and just baking us all night long. So one of the priorities was the front of the house for us is where the sun goes. It sets in the west, and so on the west side you also have to be considerate of the fact that you don't want tons of glass on the west side either, where the sun sets, because all afternoon long the sun's going to be radiating on the glass and actually acting like an oven inside your house. So that's a consideration as well. And for us, we had that in mind when we were planning the building and the site selection and everything like that. And we don't have really big windows on the one wall that's on the west side. It's part of the great room. It's a high ceiling, so the folks down on the lower section, and it's an open like a cathedral ceiling type of an architecture. So I think we covered most of our bases for the comfort level for all the bedrooms, which are on the east side, and the front of the house. Now, talking about the glass in the front of the house. If you do have a lot of glass, again, in the front of the house, if it's southbound facing like ours, and what you want to make sure when the sun is going around, that if you have a lot of glass, you have something that protects glass. And what we took that into consideration as well. And what we did is the front of the house is actually all covered. It's like a patio cover area, and it has arches inside there. So as the sun is actually going across, we actually have covering, and we have beautiful glass in the front of our house, and it's going to be protected by this canopy of roofing. So we thought about all of these things, and I hope we covered our bases. Of course, you never know until you actually get inside the house. But these are considerations when you are considering building a house. Look at the architectural plan and look at the location, and make sure all the natural environmental conditions work along with the design of your house. And there was one other thing that I wanted to touch base on. One of the subscribers made a mention about generators. He said, you might want to think about a generator. Well, we thought about a generator a long time ago. And like I said, when we go through all these videos, and like I said, when I present all these videos, and I said what I would do as we get to those points, I will discuss the considerations that we had for that part of the build, as well as the type of material that we're using, and anything that went into consideration of the selection of whatever we did. So the generator, I consider important, and we actually got this tip from one of our friends. And so what we're doing is we're actually going to have a generator stored in the basement area, and it's already going to be pre-wired all the way up to the main breaker box system in our house. You have automatic systems that will kick over when your electricity goes out. We're not going to do that because that's not that important to us. And it's very expensive for those systems, especially with the larger generators. We're going to have a smaller capacity generator. We're mainly concerned with anything in the refrigerator and a minimal amount of lights in the dark that we have when we have brownouts out here, but mainly the refrigerator, so we don't have spoilage or any of the food. So what we'll do is we'll have a transfer switch right next to the main breaker panel, and I'll just go out and I'll crank up the old generator, and we'll do the transfer switch, and then we'll have electricity again. So I hope I was able to answer everybody's questions that they posted, and I thank you again for posting those. And now let's just wait on the contractor to get here. I got a few questions for him as well. Well, the end to another successful day. My contractor just arrived on site an hour ago, and we sat down and we discussed a lot of things. There were actually more changes, and I'll get into those changes when we get to those points in the construction, as I keep on telling you. I don't want this video to run very long. Well, anyway, it was a successful day. They were digging a bunch more holes inside there. My contractor did tell me they're probably going to bring on a few more guys to help with some of the hole digging, because we want to get that out of the way, because tomorrow might be exciting to the point that we could possibly be pouring concrete. And that's a whole new phase for me. We're doing the rebar bending right now, and as soon as you pour concrete, in my mind, it's like I'm really building a house. Right now, I'm the owner of a big hole in the ground. So I'm hoping we can actually get the footers in. Then we'll take some of those number 20 rebar for the vertical supports, and they'll start building the forms. Good afternoon. How are you?
Okay, fine.
So yeah, tomorrow we will be possibly doing the concrete. And if you enjoyed today's video, and give me a thumbs up, and please share, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And until tomorrow, which is day 9, let's see, I gotta count 6, 7, 8, day 9 on the construction process, and this will be it for me at My PI Dream.